So you've heard about the Open Compute project, but what exactly is it, and how do you get involved? Let's rewind. In 2009, a few engineers, hey guys, at a company, hey Facebook, realized in order to accommodate their huge influx of data, they'd have to rethink their infrastructure. So they set out to build the world's most efficient data center. And they did. But it got them thinking, if open source collaboration could create a software revolution, couldn't it do the same for hardware? So Facebook shared their knowledge with the world. And with the help of Intel, Microsoft, Rackspace, Goldman Sachs, and Andy Bechtolsheim, the Open Compute project was born. Today, OCP is a thriving global community with hundreds of member companies and thousands of engineers collaborating to break open the black box of proprietary IT infrastructure to achieve greater choice, customization, and cost savings. Our project communities are led by volunteer leaders and overseen by our incubation committee to guide initiatives in data center facility, hardware management, high-performance computing, networking, open system firmware, rack and power, security, server, storage, and telco. The result? Member organizations and solution providers collaborating to create embedded software, firmware, hardware, and facility guidelines based on OCP's tenets of efficiency, scale, openness, and impact, improving the efficiency of data flowing from the edge to the cloud worldwide. So, can open source collaboration create a hardware revolution? It already is. Join us at opencompute.org.
Welcome to the 2019 OCP Global Summit. Please welcome OCP's Chairman of the Board, Mark Rennick.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody? There's a lot of you out there. We have over 3,500 attendees, so thank you guys for attending. We know you're really, really busy, so to spend 2 days with us is we're grateful for your participation. On behalf of the board and the Open Compute Foundation, I'd like to welcome you to the 2019 OCP Global Summit. We got, like I said, 3,500 attendees. We've got over 125 products. Last month we had an engineering workshop in China. We had over 400 attendees. So the momentum continues to grow. We've also are going to announce 4 new projects. The board, from a selection perspective, takes those projects very, very seriously. One of the key success tenets of Open Compute has been our ability to focus. And so, although there's a lot of great ideas out there, it is the board's responsibility to make sure we're working on putting everybody in their highest and best use to move the industry and drive the necessary innovation. The theme of this year of the summit is Open Together, and I think everyone in the audience would agree that we are better together. Back in the, I think it was 2009 or 2010, when we started talking about an open technology forum from a hardware and data center perspective. Back in those days, a lot of companies did not share information, and their data center designs and hardware designs were proprietary. And look at what's happened over the last 8 years of the Open Compute Foundation. Thanks to you in the audience, the community has been a great success. And of course, the community is only as good, right, as the passion and energy of the community. So thank you very much, and please give yourselves a round of applause. There's 3 pillars that I want to spend a little bit of time talking about this morning that I think OCP has done a really nice job in driving. One is efficiency. That's making sure that we get the right engineering talent around the table to decide on what the next generation of technologies that are coming down the pipe are, and how we can develop standards around those and commonalities across different industries. The second is energy conservation. So we've developed a power shelf that basically utilizes 98% of the power in a particular rack, and as you guys know, industry standard just a few years ago was 80%. So we're really pleased with the progress that we're making there. We have higher performant compute, and we're using a lot less power. But now that we're coming up against some laws of physics, we have a ton of new challenge ahead of us, and so I think our work here in OCP is literally just getting started. The last thing is addressing the demands of and the needs of the industries that we support. So I think many people think Open Compute is just a technology forum. It is about infrastructure, but we serve, right? We serve oil and gas industries, the financial services industries, certainly the tech industries, and increasingly, right, data insights, artificial intelligence, and machine learning industries. Let me give you guys a few numbers. Last year I stood on stage and I told you about IHS Markit, which is an independent third party. The board wanted to understand what the OCP spend was in infrastructure. And so I'd like to go through a few numbers with you. We've added over 20 new members since in 2018. So we continue to attract global companies. And when I say 20 more companies, I do mean companies. The great thing about OCP, in my opinion, and one of the reasons it's been so successful in addition to the efforts of the community, is it's a contribution-based model, right? So you can't pay to play with membership. We do require submittals and contribution of IP. We've got over 120 marketplace products, but that's not the exciting part. In the next 60 days, we're going to announce 60 new products, 50 of them being in networking. And if you had told me when we started OCP back in 2011 that we'd be a major force in networking, I wouldn't have thought that that was even possible. Okay, but the hardware is really enabling a lot of innovation. I think it also shows OCP's right flexibility to listen to the community, assess the needs of the marketplace, and adapt accordingly. This next slide's pretty exciting. When I stood on stage last year, I told you that for 2018 we expected 55% growth, and we expected OCP spend to be about $1.8 billion. And that is not inclusive of board member companies such as Facebook, Goldman, Intel, et cetera. And it doesn't include the secondary market, so anything that moves out of a data center from a tech refresh perspective. And when IHS Markit rolled up the numbers this year, we showed 120% growth, about $2.6 billion in OCP spend, and that would put us on track, conservatively speaking, to be about $11 billion over the next 4 or 5 years. So that's incredible. I guess I should tell you a little bit about market share. So today, market share is about 1.4% of total overall IT spend being OCP spend. But by 2022, right, we estimate it to be between 5 and 6%. So what's new about the summit this year? We have 2 sets of keynotes. So you got keynotes this morning. We got a lot of great content to go through. You have keynotes again tomorrow. This afternoon, we have the executive tracks. Tomorrow afternoon, we have the engineering workshops. The engineering workshops, we had over 260 submittals of ideas and papers for technical presentations of the workshops. We had 160 this time last year. So thank you for those that came up with that material, and we are considering whether we need to expand those engineering workshops because they truly are at the key of our success. We had a hackathon yesterday morning. There's been meetups throughout today and tomorrow, and then we created a new technology symposium, which is made up of academic institutions. And surprisingly enough, think of the 12, 5 are international. And so they've created white papers, and they have the poster report out. So it'd be great if you can go by and see what they have. It's mostly geared towards either energy efficiency or new technologies coming down the pipe, like optics and things like that. The other thing we have is the Osi Peak Experience Lab. It's on the main concourse here. And this shows you, this is the culmination of truly working better together. So you've got 5 projects there. The companies that are represented are wide. I think we've got 17 companies represented there that have all worked together to drive things like a NIC 3.0, an OSF project, et cetera. So a ton of great work has been done there. So please take a look there, not only at the technology, but inquire about how that engineering got done, what that collaboration looked like, how many hours did they spend, because our engineers, from a project lead perspective and a project membership perspective, spend a lot of hours to do this great work, and we really appreciate it. So with that said, I'm going to introduce Kushagra Vaid from Microsoft. Microsoft became a member in 2013. We have really appreciated their contributions, of IP, and I think that's another great example of where this Open Compute and Open Technology Forum is headed. Without further ado, Kushagra.